So I chose beer for my first item, and the value analysis is basically brand matters for the beer at my establishment. Customers come in looking for craft options, not the generic Bud Light, Miller Light. So it behooves us to pay extra to buy the craft options from Deschutes, Sierra Nevada, New Belgium, Odell Brewing. Our customers come in looking for that, so it behooves us to buy craft beer. Forecasting. So we do things by the quarter here at our establishment. This coming quarter, we have a few holidays. We have two beer conventions, and we also have the Super Bowl coming to our city. So we decided to order extra inventory in order to weather these events. What if scenario? Fuel costs look like they are going to be going up in the near future. So my team and I decided that this would probably affect the price of the beer that we get from our distributors since the fuel is going up. So we decided to order a little bit extra now so that we might be able to beat the prices in the future. Make or buy. Because I run a brew pub, we actually decided to make 5 beers in-house and then feature 5 beers from different local breweries and then national brand, kind of like New Belgium and Sierra Nevada. So we have 5 brand name, 5 local beers. We decided that because of our space and the amount of time it would take to make 10 beers, it was easier and cheaper for us to outsource 5 beers on our draft system. Plant visits. I know most of the brewers in the area and restaurant owners, so I every now and then I ask to go see the brew house where we're getting our beer from for those 5 tap handles. I want to make sure the cleanliness and quality standards are there just as we have in our own restaurant. That way I have peace of mind when I serve their beer that I know it's safe to drink. And last but not least, sourcing for our in-house beers. I have several different distributors to choose from. So in regards to the grain, yeast, and hops. So I often price check those ingredients for the beer against the distributor, and I'm looking for the lowest price. However, I don't always make my decision based off the lowest price. And I know that it's important to have other things just besides price. For instance, one time I had to have a rush order shipped immediately, and I called up my distributor. He was able to make that happen. It did cost a little bit more, but I'd rather have solid foundation in those relationships with my distributors than just always getting the cheapest cheapest cost. All right, moving on to cheese dip and pretzels. That's one of our items at the brew pub. My head chef for value analysis, my head chef came up to me with 2 different soft pretzel brands. One was from Costco. The other one was from Cisco. The Costco was $2 cheaper, and we decided that it almost tasted identical. So since Costco is just a less than a mile from the business, we decided to go with the Costco brand because it's going to give us better profit margins, and it's not going to really eat up into the fuel cost to go get it. It's pretty nominal because of how close it is. Forecasting. Oktoberfest is just around the corner. And so we decided to quadruple our normal pretzel and cheese inventory based on this event. I've talked with some local restaurant owners, brew pub owners, and they said that it gets crazy. So we are excited and ready for the rush of people. Make sure you stop by because you're going to want to get some of this magic here. What if analysis. So we just switched to Costco from Cisco. We also have made a case that if Costco does stop carrying that brand of pretzel, that we will go back to Cisco and eat that cost that we were paying before. It's not the best thing we want to do, but we're ready to do it and maybe cut costs in other places to make up for that. Also, there has been some news about dairy strikes. And so here at the Brew Pub, we've been looking at alternatives for cheese dip just in case the cheese price goes way up. We can maybe switch it out with a mustard, Bavarian mustard, or even a vegan cheese dip, which we might eventually add anyways because it might attract more customers. So, make or buy analysis. Our head chef one day wanted to experiment with making cheese dip in-house. Let's just say his talents and skills he has for other things, but not cheese. So, we decided it was worth both our time and money to just have the cheese outsourced and pre-made. That way all we have to do is heat and go. Plant visits. I asked Costco about where they got their pretzels from. They gave me the manufacturer's information. I reached out. The owner was thrilled to have me come. We ended up having a great tour, great stay. They put us up at a hotel since it was a few hours away. And we ended up making a great relationship. And it looks like we have a few events on the books for later in the year. They want to come and do some pretzel events and bring out some bands and stuff. So we thought that was a good relationship to build. And just from asking for some information, we got that relationship going. And lastly, sourcing. So the other day, went to a local farmer's market and someone was selling pretzels. I decided to try one, and I have to say it was probably one of the best pretzels ever. We ended up looking at the cost for those pretzels, and it's pretty close to what we're paying for now. I believe with this increased quality, we could bring in more customers. So we decided to ask this entrepreneur to come to our brew pub, and instead of serving our pretzel, we're going to actually have him serve his pretzel instead. See how sales do. We're going to have him do this over several weeks, maybe even months, gather some data. If we can justify bringing him in, bringing his product in, we might be one of his first accounts. So I'm excited to see where things go.